I'm going to answer some questions about wood chips. I always get questions every time I say I get free wood chips and that's all I use in my garden for mulch. One of the top questions is, what about termites? I have lived in a couple of different states that had termites, and I've never ever had an issue in 25 years of doing this with termites. If you think it's going to be a problem, just pull it 3 to 4 feet away from the edge of your house and then use it out in the out areas of your garden. But I've never had an issue with termites. Another question is, do they fly away? Well, no, they don't. I've lived in Kansas and Colorado and Texas. All of those places are very windy. I've lived out in the country. I have never, ever had wood chips flying away. I don't know how that rumor got started, but wood chips just stay in place. And I don't know if it's the water holding them or what, but they do stay in place. Another question I get is, won't they rot? Well, yeah, that's the whole point. As you can see in this fresh batch I just got, I have some that are rotted and some that aren't. And the whole point of using wood chips in your garden without plastic or landscape fabric is to enrich your soil so that your plants can grow better. It aerates your soil, it gets oxygen in there, and your plants' roots go much deeper because it holds water and keeps the roots moist longer than if you don't use wood chips. Another question I get asked all the time is, where do I get wood chips? I've lived in a town of 400 and I've lived in a town of 500,000. You can find them in pretty much any city you live in. I get them by calling tree companies. Tree companies are always cutting down trees for landscaping, for electric lines. A lot of times if I see somebody cutting in my area, I will just go up to them and ask them if they'll just drop them by my house. And a lot of times they will. They'll just pull up to my driveway, dump them for me, and then I can use them. One time I lived out in the country and it was a little tiny town of 400, and I saw the tree trimming trucks driving out, getting ready to go to the dump because my house was on the road headed out there. So one day I ran out and flagged them down, and they were more than happy to dump about 10 loads of wood chips on my driveway. I used them for everything. I used them for paths, I used them for the gardens, I used them for flower and vegetable gardens. For the paths, I just put down newspaper first, and then I put the wood chips on top. I've also used them in my driveway when I had a really long dirt driveway that was very muddy, and I just spread them on the entire driveway. Then when it rained the next time, the wood chips kind of sunk down into the mud and made a nice dry driveway for me so I didn't have mud tracking in everywhere. Wood chips are one of my favorite things for the garden. You can get them anywhere. Just bake a pan of brownies for the guys that bring them, and they're more than happy to dump them at your doorstep for you. Keep asking at municipal waste places. They usually have a chipping place for household chipping. And some places like where we're at now, the arborist, he just pours all his wood chips on his lot and then anybody can come get them. So just start asking around, ask fellow gardeners, ask at the county extension, start calling tree companies and ask if they have free wood chips that you can use for your garden. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.